All right, here is the video review for Iron Factory's IF-EX65 Spear of MARBAS, aka, or MARBAS, however you want to say it, aka Leo Zach. Technically 65, numbering-wise, ideally would have been the first one to come out, but is now the fourth member of the team to come out. We still got Hellbat and Skyhawk and now Death Cobra on the way, as they announced. So we'll see how those turn out, but we're getting there on this, and that's kind of cool. He comes in his jet mode, which is, as you can see, very jetty and easily swooshable and lots of fun in this small little jet mode. Several accessories, we'll show off some of them, but he does come with more parts for the giant combined mode. You got more of this pole, a couple little connector pieces here. He gets the standard double-ended spear, as well as, because he is the Spear of MARBAS, you can swap out these standard spear tips for enhanced spear tips when he wields it if you want. Those also work. The new pieces that we haven't seen for the combined weapon yet are these little spirally stars. And this is one all folded up. It's geared, and this is having trouble getting it to collapse on demand now. But there we go. You can see you can rotate these out on this central piece. And when we get to the combined mode, all these smaller spear tips end up going on here. They'll go around, and then the longer spear tips will go on the ends to form kind of death spikes on each end of the weapon. So that's why everybody's coming with one of these spears, to give you enough spear tips to make these the weapon work when it's all said and done. But even if you don't have the spear tips, these still kind of look like pretty dangerous. Like if somebody was swinging this around on the end of a chain, I don't think I'd want to get hit by it, whether it had spear tips on it or not. So, you know, your call. You also get the bag of accessory hands, which we'll show off momentarily. And also combiner mode parts. He comes with the head, which attaches very securely, but the combiner mode head, also the combiner mode torso bit, which allows him to fit in there, has the arm connectors. We'll show how that works later on. There's a couple things I like about it that I wasn't expecting, as well as, I don't know if the jets are going to be entirely arm, or if there's going to be a connector piece for them. Obviously the hands aren't part of the robots, but I don't know if there's going to be extra pieces with the jets outside of the hands, because looking back at the pictures, maybe there's a sleeve that kind of goes over the lower legs, but we'll see. But I think the bulk of the combiner mode pieces that actually structurally form the combiner, I think if there's anything other than the hands with the jets, I don't think it's much. I think that's the last of the big chunks of combiner mode. Anyway, let's talk about Spear of MARBAS himself. Very cool jet. Like I said, very swooshable. I like that these are, I haven't handled a G1 Lyle Kaiser. I've seen several of them on display for sale at like BotCon and TFCon. And I like that these vehicles are, they feel like they're roughly the same size as the originals. I don't have the originals to compare, obviously, as just mentioned, but they feel like I could feel like a six-pack of these. They're roughly the same size. Although, again, if I'm wrong, it's been a while since I've actually seen one in person. But they're just small-scale little vehicles. I like them. Again, really fun little jet here in Leo Zach, or Spear of MARBAS. Nicely designed. I like the colors on it. Like I said, the landing gear just folded up. There's one here in the nose cone. Getting your thumbnail underneath it is a little difficult. Put the landing gear on the back very easily. But you really don't need it. Even without the landing gear deployed, it sits fairly nicely just setting it down. Also, I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I had to pass on seeing Transformers 1 early, and it turns out I'm shooting this on Saturday night, the 14th. This will go live on Monday. But I did, in fact, get to see it early. It was very cool. If you like Transformers, I highly recommend going and seeing the movie. It's probably the best Transformers film since the original 1986 film, and honestly, it may even surpass the 1986 film for me. I don't know if I'm going to make that straight up claim. I need to sleep on it a little bit. But it was a fantastic story. I went in spoiler free. and had some stuff in it I wasn't expecting. Lots of cameos, lots of little in-jokes for people in the know, but they weren't like over the top or distracting. It was just a really, really fun movie and a really good-looking movie, and just well done. I'm looking forward to see more of it. Anyway, here is Spear of Leozak, Spear of Marbas, named Zeolak. Leozak is Zeolak. It's been a long day. Anyway, so to turn him into a robot, and unpeg the arms from the legs here, and then unpeg this whole upper plate from the legs here. They're pegged in right here, and then you can slide them down. And once they're slid down, now the instructions have his fins folded back for robot mode, and you can do that. He'd stand if you need some heel support. I like to fold them forward. I think it just hides them on the leg better, but it's entirely up to you. But anyway, once that's done, you got to take these pieces, flip them up, and then fold this piece in. And at first I was like, well, why do you have to do that? That's going to keep the legs from recollapsing. Because you can, if you want to, you can just leave the robot mode leg like that, but it's going to make it a whole lot easier for that leg, because it does kind of clip into place up here. But you're going to have, you know, it's possible to collapse that leg if you don't fold this piece in. So fold it out, fold it, just the upper part of that down flat, and then fold it back into the leg there. And then just fold the feet down. You can see there's the thruster, which kind of forms part of the heel, but the whole assembly is also on a ball joint. So you've got some nice articulation on both front and back, and ankle tilt there in robot mode, but we'll get to that. I'll go ahead and bring his wings up like that. Untab the whole backpack here. This piece kind of comes up. You rotate this around like this, then fold this tab around onto the back. And then while that's open, flip his head up out of his body. You do need to turn it around. You can see there's some cutouts here for his kind of earpieces. So you do need to have the head facing backwards to fold it in. It's very clear in the instructions for Transform Robot to Jet to turn his head around. Turning the robot into the torso mode, it just shows you flipping the head down, but you do need, regardless, you do need to turn that head around all the way. And then collapse these inner joints in the torso so his shoulders come back up. There we go. And then the elbows are on a dual hinge, so you want to bring those down around like that, because you kind of collapse the elbow, the shoulder or bicep into the forearm a little bit so it tabs together in vehicle mode. And then flip the hands out and rotate them around. That's the step for even, I have the open holding hands on him. I generally install those and leave them on for easy demonstration purposes for these videos. He does come with alternate hands. He comes with the closed fist that all of them do. This comes back up, tabs back in. There he is in robot mode. And as you can see, he stands just fine on these feet without the fins folded back. If you want to fold these back like that, it really, honestly, they're so high up, it really doesn't even give them any more stability. So it's really up to you how you position these. All the pictures and instructions show them folded back like that, but like I said, I think these look better folded like that, them out to the sides. And there he is in robot mode. He's got a ball jointed head, ball jointed shoulders, bicep swivel, dual hinged elbows, so you get a lot of good poses there. Ball joint at the wrist so they can pop on and off. Wings can move. He does have a waist swivel. He's got some little pieces that move up and down there on his waist. Ball joint hips, thigh swivel, and a little over 90-degree range of motion there in the knee. And you saw the ankle tilt there and toe articulation during the transformation. There is a little tab, like see this is sitting up a little high. There is a tab here on the back that you keep rotating this joint. This little piece is what fills in the gap in jet mode. But I'm still not entirely sure whether I need to have it like this for robot mode, where the tab kind of tucks into this little gap back here, or straight up, fold it, lift this up so it goes under. Either one works. It just lets the cockpit sit a little further on his back. This is his standard non-transforming chest plate, which you can pop off and give him his non-transforming gun to replicate that feature. You also can put on his transforming breastplate, fold it up like that. It does stick out a little bit, which can then, as all the other ones do, transform into a gun. Very simply, just flip out the blaster part of it that he can hold in his hand. And then also turns into a little lion. Just bring the legs down, fold up the peg, fold these two legs down, and flip out the head. And there you've got a little lion companion. So yeah, it's up to you which chest plate, which version of the chest plate you use. For the sake of just, if I'm throwing them in my pocket, if I'm just bringing them, like I want to go like just mess around with them while I'm out and about, I'll usually throw the non-transforming chest plate on, because in all the cases of them, the standard just single piece chest plate fits, unless you're trying to combine them, stays on in both modes and doesn't get in the way. Some of the transforming versions lift up the treads, or they don't fit clearly, don't give you the clearance you need in vehicle mode. So that's how I'll carry them around if I'm just going to mess with them. But I do like that they have the little transforming just options. And to turn into the torso, we'll go ahead and get those pieces out of the way. You do the, oh, I forgot to show the hands. He's got, so there's the open hands to hold his weapon. I didn't show him holding the spear either, so we'll do that now while I think about it, before I forget too much. So yeah, the spear, I've got one of the big tips and one of the small tips on it. But he can hold his big spear, just like all the other ones can as well. Just tip it on, there you go, there he is with the spear. Hand-wise, again, like I said, I generally leave these on anyway, just so if I do want to play with the transforming chest weapon and give him a gun, they can hold it. But he comes with these two solid closed fists installed. And then he's got two of the karate chop hands and then two relaxed hands, which just pop, like I said, just pop on and off the ball joint as you wish. Well, got to make sure to support the ball joint because they all kind of fold up into the body. But yeah, so you just want to give them like a open hand you can. But anyway, now to torso mode. Remove the chest plate. You do have to fold his head in. Bring that back up. Fold the fists in. You want to bring these kind of, you're going to fold them up at the upper elbow like this. You got to rotate them around at the waist and pin the legs together like that. The feet fold up flat like this. And this kind of, again, we'll see where that goes. The head, you take this head piece, you plug it in to where the chest piece was. So now you're kind of seeing how the torso comes together. And then you fold the legs up and around, and then this little tab, like right in between the thrusters here, is going to fit in this little slot behind the head. So you fold this all up at the, nope, not at the waist, at the hips, and clip this in all the way up here. Come on, get out of the way. One second. These definitely fit. Fit right in here. I'm missing something here because I know, oh, never mind. That's what I'm missing. The whole thing folds up. I need to fold the toes up. And then you can get this to plug in here. There you go, like that. And that's how you know you got it lined up right. You just kind of, all right. I also moved the arms to the wrong hinge joint. You want to use the lower hinge joint for this. That's fine. Just gets them out of the way. They don't really plug it anywhere. They're just kind of getting out of the way. There we go. this plugs in to the front. You got the torso like that. The head is actually very secure in there, and it's on a ball joint, so it looks around. And then you take the torso piece and you open it up like this. These pegs right here are going to peg into the legs here. So you just kind of slide it in, peg it on, and you fold these around, and you just kind of adjust this to sit in that slot like that. And fold this around, and then it will peg in to these slots on his back, or on the back of the jet, on the front of the jet there. Slap that all in like that. And there's the torso all together. You can kind of get a little bit of range on these, but not much. And there's the torso together. And one of the things that I think is really clever about this is looking online, seeing a lot of the pictures and not seeing it in videos for so long, is that I thought these two torso halves were going to snap in from the sides, and you were going to have to plug in these tabs on the side of the jet into these slots on here. And the fact that it just kind of pops forward like this and folds around, because I was worried about scratching the paint. One, you can see a lot of that paint doesn't even go under the tab, but even when it does, it's not really scraping any paint. Like if you put this together and really just kind of jiggle this specifically to rub it against this part, you could probably scrape some of this paint, but the way it folds around is actually pretty gentle and isn't going to actually come into contact with that paint. You can see it's sitting, just got a little bit of a gap there. So I really like that. It's less likely to scratch any paint, and I appreciate that they put that effort into it. But then you got a little solid torso piece. He's got his cool little thrusters back here on his back. Cool head. I've seen some people talking about wanting to repaint the eyes, and I thought maybe they were clear. There is some clear plastic for light piping, but the fronts of the eyes themselves are nicely painted and pop very well. So like, I'll look at what some people are doing. I'll follow that thread, but I'm pretty happy with just how they look straight up out of the box. But then you just take this and you lift it up onto the top of the body. And again, you can see the tab holes right there. You just tab this whole thing on. And it does tab on very securely, almost too securely. And there you have, again, an armless combiner, but you're getting a good look at what this is going to look like all finalized. I don't know why my tripod is suddenly deciding to not lock itself into place, but there we go. And he's got the same articulation that he's had before in the legs and the waist and everything. The whole, bumping the thing here. The whole torso rotates. You can see there's both up and down and rotation there where the arms are going to connect, so he'll probably be pretty posable in his final combined mode. And speaking of which, here he is for comparison. Here he is with Iron Factory's Bruticus. And here he is with Iron Factory's DJD combiner. So at the top of the head, he's slightly taller than the DJD. I don't know if the final product, maybe with Death Cobra, will be quite as bulky as the DJD. He won't have, like, he's got the jet arms and they'll stick out a little bit, but he doesn't have the giant arm cannon. So he might not end up being quite as hefty in general as the Tarn combiner, but you know, hey. Also, some versions of the combined mode have the guns from Jaguar plugged into the back. So if you want to, you can plug those in as back pillars. If you just want to get an idea of like how tall overall, I guess I could have put the machine guns in there as well, but overall he'll be. But yeah, very happy with, continue to be very happy with this set. I think, whoop, that's what I get for not grabbing you more securely, my friend. Almost did a Bobby Skullface there. That is not, I'm only being silly because I saw what happened with the Superion he was reviewing. That is in no way, I'm not dissing him, I'm not making fun of him. I saw that was a controversy and I saw it had happened, and it was, honestly, that happens to me on camera all the time. So I feel that pain. And it was I thought it was kind of funny just to see it happen, because that does happen a lot behind the scenes. And that's all. That was not, please don't take that as That wasn't supposed to be denigrating or anything. It was just something I saw recently. Anyway, there is the Iron Factory Lio Kaiser to date, with the addition of IF-EX65 Spear of Marbas. One of my, like I said, he might edge out finally. Like I've always liked Leozak. I've always liked those colors. I like that teal and white together. I like his head sculpt in robot mode. I like playing with jets and swooshing them around. You've seen that in my videos. So I think he might now just edge out Jaguar for me. Jaguar, can't say that name. But yeah, the set just keeps getting better as it goes. So I'm really looking forward to the arms, and Death Cobra especially looks fantastic. I cannot wait to play with Death Cobra when it's finally released, hopefully by the end of the year, and we'll have the whole team together. But yeah, great set of figures. Really enjoying it. Can't wait for the next two. I'm happy this one showed up as quickly as it did after I decided to get in, because again, I don't want him to be armless, but like if I'm messing around with him, I at least like having the head and the torso, so I can at least pretend there's a robot there instead of just like a disembodied lower half. So yeah, I hope everybody's week's going well. I hope your week is starting off well. It's a Monday when this goes up. If you get a chance, if you've seen Transformers 1, please don't say anything or spoil anything in the comments on this video. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't, I do really, really highly recommend it. I had a really good time at the theater earlier. My wife and I went and saw it, and even she liked it. So, not that she doesn't hate Transformers, but she's not as into it as I am, which is fine. But she really enjoyed it and thought it was a good movie. So check it out. It's a really good time, and everybody did a fantastic job. And I don't know who thought Chris Hemsworth and Brian Tyree Henry were not going to do a good job. Keegan-Michael Key's great. Scarlett Johansson's good. John Hamm. All the cast is just fantastic. John Bailey did Soundwave this time around. So congrats to him. I remember talking with him at BotCon 2011 when he was hadn't really started out yet, and he was really excited to meet some of the voice actors and talk to them and seeing how he's come along with his career, and be actually getting to voice some Transformers is really, really cool. But yeah, fun movie, fun time. Definitely go see it. Also fun time, this guy right here. All of these guys are great. But if you had to get a single one, either one of these two up here, I think would be fantastic first entries into what Iron Factory can offer. Although every single one of these guys has been pretty fun so far, and I'm looking forward to completing the set. So that's my review of Iron Factory IF-EX65 Spear of Marbas. I don't know when the next ones are coming out, so we'll see that. We'll have a cool video sometime this week, and you'll know it when you see it. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got planned Transformer-wise right now. This and video from, it'll probably be Wednesday or Thursday. I think I'm really hoping to get my hands on like I said, I'm still looking for a Studio Series Ultra Magnus. If anybody knows where I could get one of those without paying through the nose for it. I missed out, again, on all the pre-orders for Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. I would like to get my hands on one of those soonish. I know that people are starting to get them, and I'm a little jealous because he looks fantastic. But yeah, I hope you all are having a great week. Take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon.